Hey traders, good morning. Actually, good afternoon. It's almost it's about 12:15 here in Chicago. So um, let's jump over. I want to talk a little bit about the alts today. Yesterday we spent quite a bit of time talking about Ethereum and where we think it could be going and what's happening in here. But it seems that unless something horrible happens, we're starting to get that sentiment that alts are ready to make new all-time highs. This pattern back here was very, very ugly and kind of hard to, identify exactly what this is, because some of these alts actually have made new lows, some of them had stopped before making new lows, so it's a little bit of a mess in terms of their structures. But the signal that we're getting from the market is that they're rallying, and the higher they get in here, the more likely it's going to be that we're going to make new all-time highs. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this is an increasing possibility. So pending a very silly X or B wave back in here, I think this thing is ready to rip to the upside. So the one that's kind of telling us that this is likely the scenario, it's actually ADA, because ADA it's been on a rip ever since it broke above this kind of 150 level. And it doesn't give any signs of slowing down, so it's not far from the all-time highs in here. And you guys know that we've been monitoring this fourth wave formation for a long time. So if you go, I kind of posted something into the public chat too, that we were looking at this fourth wave, is it a fourth or as a second, but giving the magnitude of this advance, it's possibly better interpreted as a four. Anyway, no worth to kind of go back and forth on this, but it seems that we're ready to kind of advance in whatever wave this is going to be, either a fifth or maybe even a larger third. We'll see what that is. I doubt it's a third, but the signal that we're getting, from the daily candles in here, it's pretty bullish. So I said every time you kind of get above the 78.6 retracement in alts, you're starting to, in any market, you're thinking about the reverse multiple of this move to the upside, which gets above to 60, maybe towards $3 in ADA. So let's kind of jump and take a look at some of the other markets and kind of see. So back in here on my right, I have the larger kind of mega caps on coins, and you can see even poor BCH is kind of trying to rally, and while ADA is back in here right over 78.6, some of them are still struggling to get all the way up there. So we'll see if this continues, but that could be an indicator that some of these are trying to follow course. Same for BNB. If you look at 78.6, it's probably about 540. If you look even at the crazy Dodge, this one 78.6 is probably going to be above 45 cents. So these are some very kind of viable targets. That has a little bit of a different maybe structure, because it kind of it made new lows in here, but it's still it still looks like it wants to climb and maybe test those $32 level. ICP, it's the one that we've been kind of tracking for a larger third wave rally. This could still move to the upside. It definitely has a different look than some of the other alts, but I still remain kind of bullish on this one. Hopefully we can carry it up to about 100 on there. Then Link in here, it's another one that's just kind of starting to to move. So let's kind of target this 78.6 levels in here in all these alts and see what's going on. So plot that on your charts. Look at about where those 78.6 levels fall, and if we're getting above the 618, watch the horizontal lines that we're having in here, and if we're able to kind of punch through that stuff through 78.6, likely that we're going to make new all-time highs. Litecoin in here as well. So let me just kind of pull the retracement. I'm just going to go to the lowest low. I think it was back in here, right? So 78.6 is about $300. So still, it's almost doubling from here. If it manages to get a lot of traction, like kind of ADA does, right, or did so far. So it tells you it's pretty strong. I'm not saying that they're all going to copy that, but we're not getting it doesn't seem to be getting like a falter into this rally just yet, to place a B or an X wave in there. So it's if the market talks to us, we kind of have to listen. XRP you know, it's another one that's kind of making a very nice formation in here, and we have it as a 1-2-1-2 in here. Now imagine if that's the truth, this thing is going to go to $3 to $4, right? You know, it's kind of coiling up to you know, to do that. So guys, this is not a corrective move so far. It looks pretty impulsive. Let's jump over into, you know, kind of our crypto basket, and you know, I'm going to skip the ones that I've talked about, but look at Aave as well, right? 1, 2, and it's trying to, now it is a three-wave move, so watch this as we're, you know, as we're coming up into those highs, you know, but you're passing the 618. If you're getting towards 78.6, you know, and you're not falling apart from there, guys, this is a signal that we're going to push higher. So you know, there's no FOMO. It's just kind of, you know, listening to the market. I mean, I don't want to initiate any positions. I have plenty of alts. You know, if you guys you know, missed some of this stuff, maybe for a little bit of a retracement, or you know, try to find some better entries on pullbacks. But you know, I think the market is starting to telling us something here. So I've talked about ADA. AXS is one that I think it's kind of hitting those extensions towards you know, 2618. So I would really be careful on this one. You know, it had a pretty big rally. You know, it's not something that I necessarily want to touch. You want to stay with something that still has gas in the tank. Some of these ones don't. Bitcoin is still stalling at about 47. You can see this kind of massive neckline in here. We'll see if it's going to be able to get through it. But even if you're going to sell off, you know, maybe do like a little bit of a pullback in here, right? Watch this neckline as we're breaking out of here. Pretty standard pattern that we're following all the time, and we're watching them like that. And then, you know, my CHZ in here, it's also kind of tracking pretty nicely. You know, we've gotten it about, you know, 20 to 21. It's making pretty good advances in here. So I'm looking for new all-time highs following this correction as well. Ethereum, we've talked at length about it yesterday as well. Then you have this is the Filecoin, you know, similar story in here. You know, let's see if we can, you know, get back, you know, more bullish. But listen, it's just, I mean, look at Matic too, right? You just do a 78.6 retracement of this whole thing, and you know, we're into the 618, 78.6. It's about 197. So watch those levels. XLM, it's another one that's you know, looking pretty solid in here. So very nice, kind of massive bullish engulfing in here on a 2-day chart. And you know, it's got a room to go. Let's see if possibly right there, right? 78.6 is about 60 cents. So you know, overall, Comp is another one that's you know, worked pretty well from this correction. Comp has a little bit of a different correction, just much deeper in here into 200. But the pattern continues to look pretty bullish. So let's listen to the market. Let's not ignore what it's kind of telling us. You don't have to throw the sink at it, but you know, start thinking about, you know, the reality that some of these coins are going to start to make new all-time highs. So I'm looking towards it again. Just you know, always be cautious of the likelihood of having maybe a failed B wave in here, a failed B wave rally, and then a crash lower. But something has to trigger that. Either some news coming from the regulations, but I think that the bear market has been flushed out, you know, already. And again, usually B wave or X waves are kind of coming into some news, and that's the ones that kind of trigger, you know, the next leg lower. And you know, again, the only place where I could see some kind of you know, structural, let's say, like almost like an earthquake, right? It's from the regulatory side. Somebody, you know, from the government can come and say, listen, you know, or from the infrastructure bill or something like that, where it would say, you know, a bunch of these things are securities or whatever, and then everybody dumps them, or they say, you know, hey, you're not supposed to have on the exchanges, and you know, shit like that. So until then, you know, be safe, and let's start thinking a little bit more bullish, because I think you know, things start to look a little bit interesting in here. And you know, I'll kind of close it off with just kind of taking a quick look at Bitcoin overall. On the daily charts, I wanted to see that this trend line that has been broken has gotten retested in here to a very, very small correction. I don't know if that was just a simple, you know, flat wave in here, which is supposed to continue to rally, if that's at 335. You know, let's kind of get more aggressive to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe that's just a simple you know, 5 advance from these lows. You can see 1, 2, 3. Maybe that's a 4. Quick fifth, and then ABC back, kind of, you know, scare people that are buying the breakout, and then push higher. Guys, thank you for watching. Talk to you later.